Okay, I want to say hello again everybody, it's me Wushu Richard with another life philosophy video. Okay, welcome again everybody, thanks for joining me always, it means so much, it really does, because that's why I like to share like this. Okay, in this video we're talking about rejection. Okay, we're talking about victims of bullying, of how can I say, discrimination. Okay, again, I want to remind everybody that I'm absolutely against bullying. Okay, I'm very anti-bully. It's all about social, communication. That's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be trying to put people down. You shouldn't be feeling that you're a victim to others always, or being a victim. It's like, victim of the mind, you're like a victim in your own mind. Victim in mind, victim designed, it's time to redesign, now is the time, it's not just a rhyme. Really literally, if you're a victim in your mind, you can decide to redesign. Be kind, rewind, what I'm saying? But really, to find some kind of whichever side you're going, crisscross tripping straight over the centre line. No, I really don't. Alright, no. What do I mean? A victim in the mind. Basically, you've got to really understand. You've got to balance where. How much of that is in your mind, and how much of it is in reality, in concrete reality, So what I want to say is, Morpheus said to Neo in the movie The Matrix, the original one, big fan of that, he said, the body cannot live without the mind. It's absolutely true, and I've always said, your mind is your world. Basically, whatever you think in your mind, that's what your reality is ultimately. Because without your mind, what is there? And that includes your perception, if you have any, which too many people do, have of themselves. Are you seeing yourself as the character that other people tell you are, or see you out, or treat you so to be, and you believe that you're a fool, or whatever you may believe, or make yourself out to be something great because everybody tells you you're great or smart? This is all where you could be fooling yourself. It's the illusion. You're just creating an illusion for yourself when there's actually nothing there. There's no base to be basing that on. So, if you are, though, let's say, a victim, okay, if you feel that you're being victimised, rejected, by your peers, whoever that may be, family, friends, work colleagues, classmates, wherever you're at, okay, society. It's like me, I've been a victim of society. I feel of all negativity that I've come in contact with, I've made myself, I guess, but I've come under so many situations in my life where I've felt victimised, pressured. I was bullied when I was a kid, as I say. I've been mugged on the streets. I've had things. I had mental stuff. People was giving me mental stuff for most of my life, but I'll never let it get to me. I always choose the right side. I understand myself, and I'll never choose the wrong path in life and the negative one. Self-harm. There's people that go around and self-harm or commit suicide, as I've said before, or there's people that turn it around and try and, hurt others. And they lead lives of crime, they turn to drugs, gangs, or whatever it might be, all those terrible things. But what I'm saying is fear is the question. When you're afraid of something, you need to ask yourself why, as I've said before. And these are whole topics, and I can go on to so many topics. Every time we go onto a topic, there's always times where we can always branch off to other topics. But you can always do them as the mother, the centre topic for different videos. But what I mean is fear. Then let's say fear, okay? Because fear is that one, that's the mother of all negativity, I feel. And fear can be a very blind thing. It's the same way as overconfidence can be, to bravery. What's that about, you know? It's nothing more than an attitude. So we say the mind is everything, but sometimes the mind can be nothing. You're sitting there with all your feeling and everything, or overconfident in yourself, and when you get to that situation where you're running from a tiger and you need to jump over that cliff top to the other side of the cliff without falling to the depths of the rainforest, you know what I mean? It's like, are you physically able to do it? And I even remember saying to like students and saying to people recently, I've even said like, a smile goes a long way, they say, yeah, but true ability goes further, a lot further than that. So yeah, a smile goes a long way, but true ability goes even further. Don't just smile like an idiot, you know, but you can truly really smile if you've got that ability, you know what I mean? You will see that, you know. So, anyway, what are your abilities? What are your disabilities? What are your advantages and disadvantages? We say that everybody has strengths and weaknesses. It's true in life, in society, yeah, but in life, let's say, reality, you know, and now you're probably sitting there thinking, what is Richard talking about? Life and then society and reality, how are these different? Well, they are fake ass different, there is difference. What I'm saying is everything all the stuff we make, like the society, buildings, computers, all this, you know, the society, that's made by human beings. But, you know, it's all part of reality, really. It's like, you know, this concrete wall was made from substances. Even things like, you know, wood is a natural substance, but things like metal, you know, plastic, glass, those things, electronic computers, the things, aeroplanes, all that stuff came from minerals. It came from, like, real materials that come from planet Earth. And I don't care if you get those materials from the universe up in space, from an asteroid or whatever, or another planet. That's all part of this whole everything. This is nature, right? Human beings are just creative, like any animals, like birds and animals creating caves and nests and different things for themselves, and even sea creatures. It's part of life. And when we arrange these things, we're just smarter than some other animals on the planet, and we make houses and things, you know, skyscrapers. But that's ultimately the same thing. So, excuse me. You know, people just live in this fake dream world in a state that is totally lost and either overconfident or less confident for reasons which are not really reality as it is. It's like you're sitting in a room now and you can see like the walls there and a window over there and a door there, and that's what you know. But truthfully, this is just stone and things put together. This piece of a tree there's cut in the shape so we know it's a door, you know. And I might be talking like a crazy man by saying all this. I'm not trying to put myself in a straitjacket with words here, you know. But I'm just saying that that's what it is. But truthfully, we name these things in language, as we have to make words and language like we do in order to communicate and understand things better. And so we call these things like a house, you know, a window, a door, you know, and a car, let's say. But so what I'm saying is there's always that truth beneath everything, no matter how beautiful that sweater she might be wearing. It's actually wool from a sheep's body, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, fur, whatever, it's actually from an animal's body, whatever, so that's what it is. Like they've dyed it and knitted and sewn and made this thing. So, do we need to care? You might say, well, we don't need to think about that all day. But we do need to care still. So what I'm saying is we're not talking about all the fabric of bullshit we're making, a BS, excuse my language again, free speech, with myself. But what I'm saying is I've got a bad throat, excuse me, talking too much, y'all. Teacher by day, I have to speak all day to students. But it's like, if this is worth it, you know, if you've got to talk about this sometimes. If you're a victim, if you feel you're a victim, you start making up all these reasons in your mind, like why, you know, well, because I'm not, let's give you an example, maybe you feel you're not in with the crowd, you're not one of them, or you don't have the abilities, or because I'm not a good footballer like the other kids are, you know what I mean, things like this, you know. oh, well, I need to work on my football skills. And you say, well, why is it that the other kids bully you or they look down upon you? And you say, oh, because I don't have good enough football ability and I don't have confidence in myself. Why? Oh, because I'm not a good footballer. You know what I mean? Because then they start to believe that that's what it revolves around. If you're not a good footballer, you're not the same as everybody else in that way, you know, or whatever. Or you ain't got the same training as like you used to back in the day, shoes, and that you ain't got the money. So putting yourself in a class as such, you know what I'm saying? You're saying that that's important more than the individual. In terms of survival and stuff, you know, in a society, in certain situations, you can see how this all works out, and power does get you a long way, or money and this and that, but ultimately it's all BS and bullshit, because you get rainforests, you know, tribes living back in the day, they're hunting for their food, making their handheld tools, whatever, you know, their arrows and knife objects, and their stones, and they're making it, you know, looking for the herbs in the forest or whatever, and the medical, you know, this and that. And life is there. It's just another level of wisdom, I guess, in this BS society we make for ourselves. That's what it's about. But it is there, I believe. It's just hidden underneath all this crap we pile on top of it. It's like looking for a good book underneath a big pile of crap in your bedroom, like socks and bloody rubbish chucked everywhere, and papers and boxes, and you've got to dig to the bottom to find what you're looking for. That's what it really, really is like. So you're working so hard and making crap rather than, you know, keeping the things in order, what you need, you know, and being focused on it more clean, tidy underneath it all. And so it's this blinded belief that people have. So for a second, if that victim never asked themselves, they never said, hey, you know, if you ask them, oh, well, do you really like football? And they say, well, no. If they think about it, they don't really want to. What's that? They just go into it because it's for the group, you know, and they know that they'll get respect by doing it this way. And then there's those other people that go around all day. They're really good at football, let's say. They like it, must do, or whatever, or not. But they get respect from others. For whatever, maybe they're just a big tough guy, taller than everybody else, so everybody respects them, they're scared of them, and they don't have a clue, or they got more money and they just take it for granted. But they take it for granted and they don't really care about the respect that the other people are giving them. But it's like someone else that doesn't have it cares. You see what I'm trying to say? Again, it's the same old thing. You have it, you don't care. You don't have it, you start to realise the value. You see what I'm trying to say? But what I'm saying is like, how can I say? Value comes from within, the truth of life, you know. So it's like, if you believe that you are a lower human being, you are crap, you are worse compared to others, first of all, that's a false thing to think, because you're different to everybody else. Everybody's different. Even those ones in the same group, underneath it all, they're just being fake to themselves. You're more real. But not only is it wrong to just believe that, that you're different to others, so you're worse than others, but also there's something else, which is this. It's like caring about that, about being the same as others, you know, and that is crap. That whole thing is just fake, because you don't even want to do that. You're concerning yourself with these pieces of crap, let's say, these people that are putting you down, these negative people, I'll put it that way. And there's no use in that. So just trying to be in with the crowd, you've got to have your reasons. And it's got to be from what you want, from a true source within yourself. Otherwise you're going to waste your whole life anyway. All this concern about people that you don't really care. What I mean is, if you did go along and you did practice football, even if you got really good at it and you joined in the group, I'm just using football for an example, it can be anything, and you dressed the same as these people and you got in with the gang, or you got in with this or that, you might find that there's an empty hole there and you've wasted a lot of time and effort in that, and you're living a fake life, and these people now are around you and you call them your friends, but you might find out truthfully that these people are still those same people they were when you weren't part of the group, let's say, and although they might be treating you or accepting you more now, you might see that they're treating other people crap, or they're really shallow still within themselves, and they might, even though they might show you respect, you might not really care for that. I mean, do you really care for that kind of respect and recognition? Do you want to be recognised as part of the group, the football group, if you don't like football, for example, or the gang? Do you really want to be in a gang? Do you really want to be in a football team? You've got to ask yourself these questions. If the answer is no, you've got to find your way. Don't be walking down a sunny path one of these days and thinking about, oh God, the group doesn't like me, I've been rejected and I've been an outcast, I should say, from it all, society, or this situation, when you don't really care about that. I wouldn't care. You've got to understand what you really want in life, and how much of that can you get for yourself, and try and make communication with those people out there who like the same thing as you. That's what it's about, right? So this is one form of mindset, only one form of mindset in terms of a victim point of view. When you feel you're being victimised, you're being bullied, you're being outcast, rejected by society. I live proudly like a reject from most of society, from any society. I feel there's not a lot of negativity in the world. I just stay to myself. I keep close with a good couple of close friends who've got the same outlook as me on life. Try and communicate with all people, but I see there's so much negativity in the world and shallow-minded nastiness that I try to avoid all of that. I don't want to become part of that, I don't have a religion as such, but I'm spiritual in that way. And I kind of like meditate. I don't mean meditate, but I meditate within myself. It's like I tell myself that I'm clear, I know what I want to live for. We're going to grow old one day. I do my martial arts. I do my training, help wherever I can out. I do some reading whenever I get a chance, watch a movie, like a normal human being like anybody out there. I do my drawing on the computer, animation, my videos, my communication videos like this. I'll listen to some music, I'll make my own raps. I just try to be creative. I'm not the best out there, but I try to do something more creative rather than destroying myself because of what other people think, or trying to put others down and compare. It's not about that. It's always creative and studying what you're doing and improving upon yourself. Positivity is, from more positivity grows positivity, from negativity grows negativity, and that's ultimately destroying yourself, it's just becoming nothing. You want to get more good flourish, health in the mind and body and all of that. And as I've said before, it doesn't matter even if you're not a martial artist. Now I live by the codes and in the depths of martial arts, but it's like there's people out there, even if you're not a martial artist, it's about life and productiveness. That's what I'm talking about, is living life to the full, and this positive mindset of humanity. This is what it is, that being human and being honest, that's the best thing you can do in this whole life. I think you owe it to yourself. You might not say other people owe it to you, even though they do owe it to each other. It's one race, but you might not say that people owe it to you as such, and this and that. You think people owe you, or you owe people, but you owe it to yourself, and you also owe yourself a connection with human beings, trying to communicate with others. Communicate with others too. Try to get, there's a car alarm going off outside if you just heard that, so be aware of the whole picture too. While you're talking about the deep stuff or the simple stuff, be aware of the deep or the simple stuff too. So you talk so much until your throat runs dry like I've got today. That's okay. And then what do you hear from that? Not a lot, but when someone speaks, what do you hear, or what do you think you hear? Again, it's only that, but you can only ask more questions and listen to the answers, and you can only hear from the answers what you will hear, what you think you hear. But the most important thing is use the mind and think to yourself and be creative, wise that way. Ask yourself questions. Work with multiple answers. You make up in your mind possibilities and try to find more things and different ways. And then it's the same when you read more books. It's not just reading it, but you take what you can from that and think about it. I'm going to stop this video, okay? Thank you very much. More videos to come. Don't feel the victim or be the victim for anyone else in this society. Live proudly. I live like a monk, as I say. I'm not religious, but you know what I mean. In my own life, and live it to the full. Okay, train hard and stay safe. Okay, love life. You're as great as anyone else can be. You can always do better too. Take care.